Okay. Well, as you know, today we have a special guest. Most of us know who he is. Those of you that are new, this is Meny Atias. He is our OP here at LA Harbor. He's also our OP at Long Beach Coastal. He is also the operations manager for KW South Bay. And he actually technically oversees pretty much all of our entire operations. So when we say that he doesn't sleep, we're not really joking. You'd be surprised on how many, when your emails is at 3 a.m., it's because he's really, working hard. But he's also a mentor to myself and a lot of leaders that is on the call. And we can also consider him or call him a dear friend and family as well. So thank you for being here with us this morning. We appreciate you. We are very grateful. So let's kick it off. Who is Meny Atias and what is that weird accent?
Mary King, thanks for having me. Fun to be on the other side of the screen. And thanks for the intro. I appreciate that. The best part that you said that I'm a friend, and that's really what it's all about. Us being a community of people and with common interests and successful entrepreneurs. So who am I? I am with the accent. In a nutshell, most of you, if not all of you, know my story. Immigrant from Israel, came here after a long service in Israel when I was 26, 27, and kind of pursue my dream to join a group of my buddies in a whole different industry. And a few years into that, that's kind of involved into investor wannabe that got his license with encouragement of a dear friend of mine by the name of Funberg, who runs a successful business till this day in Los Angeles. And he kind of pushed me into Jay, get your license, which I did. And that was right after the post-crash back then in 2010. Took me a minute. I got my license, started to practice with him under his umbrella. And that evolved pretty fast into more of that. I'm hungry. I want to do more. I can do more. And that brought me into KW back in 2013. About a year and a half later or so, I became the team leader of my first office. And a year and a half after that, I became the OP of my first office, and that evolved into what it is today of multiple locations and other businesses that I'm involved with. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Wow. Well, that nutshell is huge. What a success story, and it's amazing that, you're a child of an immigrant and, had essentially accomplished the American dream on coming to this beautiful country. So that's amazing. Thank you for that. So, we talk a lot about the future and 2023 and, I want to know, what is your prediction? How do you, as a strong leader in our organization, you bleed, KW, you live, breathe, sleep real estate, and we admire you for that very much. And I want to know your personal opinion and professional opinion for being in the industry for so long and have gone through so much. What is your prediction in 2023, and how do you foresee all of our offices moving forward and the direction we're going?
Well, in a very short sentence, I can tell you that I have no idea what's going to happen next. Whoever will carry the crystal ball when prediction stuff like that, it's mostly like it's an opinion. It's not solid facts. What I can tell you from my point of view is I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I think it's going to be it's going to be extremely another successful year, because that's where we put our mind and intentions, right? We're very fortunate in overall industry and specifically in our offices with KW to be working with excellent leadership teams and support staff and just phenomenal agents that, brokers and associates and sales person that their mind is where entrepreneur mind should be, right? And that's what, again, I'm saying it's going to be a very, very good year. And when I say good year, what I mean by saying that, the way I perceive it is in the sense of capitalize on your intentions, right? When it comes to take action, like one of Kobe Bryant's quotes, he said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And I think that in our communities, right, of our sister offices, we have exactly that kind of mentality of, not that talking is not good, we do a lot of that as well, in getting together every day at 8 o'clock and brainstorming and getting the day to start on the right side, and throughout the day, trainings and sessions and masterminds. I mean, KW is the fire hose of real estate training worldwide. We also take action, and we have that kind of environment. So I think that will carry us into 2023 with great success to capitalize on those kind of environment of amazing people.
That's awesome. So just a little snippet. We do have quite a bit of agents on our call. The leadership team, we're very fortunate. We're privy to your vision, but I would love to hear your vision as, kind of as our chief in steering all of our offices in the success path of of all of us. What is your vision for 2023 for all of our offices, and quite frankly, kind of the direction we're going?
We working on a series of 4 masterminds next year, once a quarter, through Pacific Escrow, and it's going to be, the 4 topics will be health, wealth, business, and real estate. Health, wealth, business, and real estate. And I think that those are 4 gardens that, if you made, that you have to keep nourishing all the time, at least in our profession, or I think every profession of every entrepreneur, even if you don't do anything to do with real estate is a crucial piece of wealth building of every person, at least in America, right? So health, wealth, business, and real estate. So you ask, what's the vision? The vision is to, number one, is to keep growing the right people and growing with the right people, right? And everything I say, by the way, always goes both ways. And if you want to expand on that, you should pick up a book written by Adam Grant that's called Give and Take. Give and Take by Adam Grant, which I've studied that philosophy a few years ago and kind of shifted my mindset about the purpose or about purposeful giving, right? Purposeful giving. Focusing on the right people is the most important thing, right? We live in, capitalism, and most of us, practice real estate or have businesses, to make money that will support our lives, the lives of our families and our associates and our communities. And that's important. It's important to be successful. It's important to be an entrepreneur. It's important to understand capitalism in a way that you will capitalize on really what blessings it can give you. And again, even more important, what kind of a person you will become in your journey, and you will become in the lives of so many other people. And I think this is one thing that I'm, for many years, I'm in a mission vision in that sense, to be that kind of a person to as many other people as I can be, right? To help them to get to where they want to go, right? Because I think a lot of people, and I keep talking about that in our morning calls often, we don't always have our upbringing is not really focused around building wealth and supporting other people and the right mindset. It's the training of or studying of being an entrepreneur is not one of the average school curriculum, unfortunately. So like we study that in doing living our lives and doing business, succeeding, failing, etc. And I'm very passionate about helping people to, number one, believe in themselves more than they usually tend to. And number two is let go of perceived, whatever it is, and limiting beliefs that we all, have, usually by inheritance. Nobody born with limiting beliefs. It's just something that you inherit from someone else. So push those aside and replace those with other powerful mindset that will position you where you deserve to be positioned. Also position you strategically where others will be rewarded by your superpowers, if it makes sense, right? So it's always a 360 kind of mindset of being purposeful and give with the purpose. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. That was great. Thank you. So, and I love that, part of our vision is, we talk about training classes, masterminds. What is your take on, how can you express the importance of, those masterminds, the classes, family reunion, mega camp? We have an event that's coming up with Mark King and Jason Abrams. What are your thoughts on the importance of these type of events that leadership regional has put together, or even KWRI as well on the bigger events? Can you stress, or can you, again, back to, on your opinion on how important is it as agents and as KW to attend these events?
I think, and by the way, it's every event whatsoever. We even right now have some guests on our call from different companies, and people jump on our sessions all the time. Or, our agents, right? They're going to go to different trainings and seminars and what have you. Pick a book, right? I mentioned one. I can mention many others as well, which I will. I think that you cannot succeed, or at least you cannot fulfill reach your full potential of success if you don't practice on a regular basis. And regular basis is daily basis, right? And it doesn't mean that, when you think about us as realtors, really the bottom line of being an agent, right, in this industry, besides, giving the best service and understand the contracts, legality, etc., is generate business. That's the bottom line, right? A call to action. Like you cannot help other people if you won't help them to buy, sell, or invest. You cannot make money, support yourself, your family, and community if you're not gonna help other people to buy, sell, or invest. So it really comes down to that. At the same time, because it is a lifestyle, you don't really clock in, clock out, and collect a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Even if you do, that's just a mindset, right? You can bring that mindset and make it as you are clocking in, clocking out. You have to feed yourself, your mind, your being all the time, which also will evolve with time, right? I say some books. So another book that you wanna pick and read for sure is The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you already know, but what Gary and Jay did, they packaged them so well that in one read, you can change your mindset and build a massively successful lifestyle. Happen to be in real estate that you can capitalize as well, right? So it's really just all about that box over here. Also, think about yourself when you drive anywhere. How do you feed your brain, right? Do you just listen to random music, listen to the news, listen to podcasts, listen to nothing, right? It's all around us. So you ask, like, why should we attend those classes, the seminars, the sessions. If you're a professional NBA player and they're going to put you on the field, on the court, to open, the game, you can't just wing it. Just show up and you didn't practice the last 2 to 3 months before that. Even if you're number one player in the world, right? If you opt into people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan will say he missed way more shots than he ever made them, and he's still the greatest player in the world, right? All times. So it's about the practice. You have to be extremely intense, and work as hard as you can on the training field, so the game will be much easier. Which when you go and actually meet the buyer, when you go on the listing appointment, this is what I do. I've done this 100 times before, right? So it also lowered the stress of the delivery.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Running.
Thank you. Yeah, and speaking of training, I want to know, what is a day? How does your day look like from the moment you wake up and when you go to bed? Like, how do you set your mindset on a daily basis to perform at such a high level? And I mean, every single day, including weekends. How does your day start and how does it end?
So I started, before I tell you my daily schedule, I started just to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? I have the t-shirt, didn't get to wear it today, it's okay. Be comfortable to be uncomfortable. But it's really just, it's a mindset, not just a t-shirt, because you want to always challenge your whatever considered to be normal behavior or habits as we know them by, and see if you can tweak it, change it, play with it. Even it's like small things. Let's say you take your your coffee black, no sugar, only cream. Change that as well, right? Don't get stuck on small things, because that's conditioning the subconscious, and that might affect different ways of how you make decisions, how you carry yourself, how you communicate, how you make decisions, etc. Right? So you have to be very comfortable at all times to be uncomfortable, meaning to be surprised and know how to respond to it, to be understanding stress and use it to your advantage versus to get stuck, get lost, get surprised again. Having said that, I remember when I woke up really early at 6 a.m., whatever it is, my day started, corporate America or other, environments, and your day just goes by. And, you carry that into life of entrepreneur without understanding, because again, there's no school for entrepreneurs. That's really life, but that brings you schooling later. You have to understand that, again, running your own business, it's a lifestyle. So you are the face of, and you're also the back end. You're the back office, you're everything. Even if people are working for you or working with you, it doesn't really matter. You still are the being of your brand. And people always say, oh, I grew in a way that, hey, work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. And I always felt defeated in a sense, like, am I really as smart or that smart, or when I'm going to be that smart, or like, what does it mean to be that smart? You look at other people, compare, like, can I be as smart as this individual? It's very confusing. Mm-hmm. So I my approach is work harder than a competition, and more efficient than a competition, right? Because I don't know what smart means. I look at that in the sense of efficiency, right? So yes, there are definitely things that you can do. You can leverage out. You can use technology. You can use systems. You can use automation. But I'm always will do my best to outwork my competition. So talking about that, 6 a.m. waking up, that kind of start to decrease to challenge myself to have different habits. Another book that influenced me was the Miracle Morning by Al Elrod. And there's today like tons of different versions of it. One of the authors is going to be our guest at some point this year, the one that rewrote that for realtors, the Morning Miracle for realtors. Really cool guy, good friend of mine too. And that mindset led me to understand or to reinforce, because I knew that, I just didn't understand the true meaning of it, that how you start your day will affect your the rest of the day, or the week, or the month, or the year, etc. Right? So today I'm in the 3 a.m. club. So I wake up at 3 a.m. and that's when my day starts. And by 3:30, usually I'm out the door. And 4 o'clock, it depends. And 5 a.m. I'm at the gym. I'll start my workout at the gym for about 45 minutes to an hour. I have a trainer, not every day, so I kind of mix that up as well. And by the way, if you are consistent going to the gym, try to add something like that, like a class or a training, someone that will get a little bit more out of you than yourself. And by 7 o'clock or so, I will be at the office, whatever location that might be. And then just the day will go pre-scheduled. I plan my days in advance. I have my 23 already scheduled. I know exactly where I'm going to be almost every single day. Not every minute, because some things I cannot predict. I don't know when I'm going to meet this person or that person. But the main stuff, the big rocks out there, right? The activities, the lead generation, the team meetings, the seminars, the sessions, the masterminds, the book clubs, the happy hours, the everything, right? And at the evening, it's family time, us time, whatever activity that we'll have going on, and then repeat. So that's pretty much my day. It's normally 18 to 20 hours a day in average.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a long day. That's a very long day for, I think for normal people. So that's pretty intense. So here's one big question for you. Most of us do know, and those of you that don't, Meny actually got engaged this past year. So what we want to know is, where's the wedding going to be? Is it really going to be at SoFi?
SoFi. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. No date yet.
No date yet.
I will let you know.
No, and we do love that you're constantly sharing with us and guiding us in the direction that we all need to take to success, and and training, mentoring. I mean, all of the above. We absolutely appreciate you. Okay, so we do have a few more minutes. I have another question, but I do want to open it to the forum. Does anyone have any questions for our very own Meny before we?
I wanna share just a couple more things.
Yeah, please.
That I was thinking earlier is number one is, because you ask about vision, etc. So another thing that I kind of live by, it's a quote that says, "Be pulled by a vision rather than pushed by a task."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about yourself. If someone tells you, "Hey, do this, do that," or you show up and you have to do those things, it can be a bit more daunting than you wake up and you're really, really hungry to get the day going, right? And I think that every single person deserves to have that kind of a hunger and passion, excitement about how the day is gonna go and how it's gonna look like. So remember that phrase, right? Be pulled by a vision rather than be pushed by a task. The second thing is two things that Steve Jobs, I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs, and as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a visionary. And one thing that he he said was innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower, right? So you always have to be innovative. Now, innovation is not just mean that like, you have great ideas. It means that you have great ideas, but you also have to be brave enough to execute them. You need to share them with others and see and understand, because again, most people that you consider to be famous, successful, etc., they made more mistakes than they made than they had success. Success is for the moment, and then it's captured by a screenshot or by something written at someone's bio, etc. It's not, you don't like live success like for eternity, right? Failure, it can be the daily struggle. So I do think that we fail as a lifestyle, right? As entrepreneurs, we fail consistently, right? Someone said, fail your way to success. Maybe it was Gary Keller, I'm not sure. But the concept is, don't be afraid to be innovative and then capitalize on it. And the second thing that he said was, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life, right? Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. It can mean many things to so many people. The way I perceive it is, we all grew up with idols of some kind, right? With the posters on the wall or screenshots or whatever era you were born, right? And that evolved, right? Your heroes and your idols, etc. At the same time, do you really want to be that kind of a person that you're, looked up to when you're like 5 years old, 12 years old, 20, 30, etc., etc.? So you have to understand that those people around you that inspire you are there for a purpose, also to inspire you, right? But then you need to fulfill whoever you are, and again, position yourself in a way of how I can inspire others as well, right? So don't live someone else's life because it's just waste of time.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Great advice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Brandon, you have your hand up.
Good morning, South Bay. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. What do you got for our very own?
So Meny, you talked about your calendar and the excuse me, the work ethic, and I appreciate that. What advice do you have around, because I'm one of those, right, that I wake up and I have my day planned in my head, or I have it even on my calendar. And then by 9:30 or 10, somebody's getting in my way of my day, right? So what advice do you have for especially real estate agents who, just have some transactional chaos or things that just go on? What advice do you have to keep us focused on our calendar?
So that's an awesome question. And I there's no single, maybe every other month, I'm not, hearing that. And it's pretty, it happens quite often. I think the best advice I can give you from my own experience is leverage. And leverage through people. And leverage through people, it means that who's in your life protecting you, right? Who's watching you? Who cares about you? And not just because, let's say it's a parent, that it's naturally that what's going to happen. It's purposefully, strategically, people that are there to protect you. And I'll give you an example. So someone's going to call me and ask me a very smart contract question that I might know the answer. Well, but at the same time, I'm doing something, or I don't really have time right now. So I'm going to ask, hey, is this urgent? If it is, call our broker XXX, right? And the broker will fulfill his or her duty. In our case, it's the brilliant Simon. He'll give him the best answer. Then I don't have two things. Number one, I can keep focusing on what I need to focus on. Number two, I give the agent the best service because he's going to get their answer from the number one in the industry. I'm doing my calls, and someone knock on my, position yourself differently, right? If currently, or let's say between all of us, even if you're leadership, between ideally, right, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. By the way, the earlier the better. You want to focus on generating business. When I say generating business is follow-ups, checking on your people, buyers, sellers, contacts, agents, etc., in order to fill your day later on with appointments, with follow-ups, with different tasks like CMAs and whatever, and go look at properties online or physically, because this is what we do for a living, right? So if at that time between 7 a.m. to 10, 11 a.m., this is what I need to do, and that's a big rock in the big rocks list. The only should be 3 to 5, no more than that. So this is something that nobody can interrupt me. Okay. And now,
So
if
what do you do about dogs in the background?
Well, that's okay. Look at that.
So cute.
Yeah. Well, that's cute. So that's fine. But really, it's Brandon, it's a great question and lesson learned for everybody. Find the people that will protect you, guard you from interruptions. And at times, right, if you don't have that kind of a network of people around you, you're the best bodyguard for your own interests. So, and that leads to a whole different topic that framed as called self-discipline, right? And in one sentence before Juan going to ask his question is, self-discipline is the most, it's like abs. It's the muscle that is the hardest to build and 10 times even harder to maintain, right? And it gets worse with age, they say. So self-discipline, in different way to describe it, is you do the tasks that you obligated to do, even without liking doing them all the time, or at times, or what have you, right? That's just show up and do the work no matter what. Juan.
Love it. Yep. Juan, you're up.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I guess 2 questions. One of them is, I think you said protecting, surrounding yourself with those that protect your space, but primarily you're the one. Who have been some of those individuals in your life that you can share? Because I think from the time that I know you have a very strong mindset, and I think it starts from there. Who have been those individuals that you have that have influenced you to prepare you to have that kind of mindset? And then what are your non-negotiables?
Good question. I don't sure I understand the second one, but I'll ask you in a second. So I think it starts, first of all, people that had impact on your life at even a very early age. So when I was in the academy back in Israel, I got into some trouble as a kid, and then this my drill sergeant came to me and said, the year later, you're in big trouble, and I'm gonna make you the head of the class, right? That it's like in a platoon or whatever, like the person that's in charge of the whole class. And I was shocked because I didn't understand why he is putting me in a position to supposedly award me versus to teach me a lesson. Well, that was my lesson, and that changed my whole concept or perception about how to utilize your strength to help other people, right? It's also helped me to understand that there are people out there, and that's a key lesson right here. There are people that are there for a reason, and they are meant to help you overcome challenges, if it's for the moment or can repeat itself multiple times, if it's like someone permanent in your life. That's just part of their strengths, and you just need to understand it and acknowledge it. So that was my first experience of a person that changed my life completely. And down the road, I think it's really a matter of again, go and buy the book Give and Take by Adam Grant and understand about giving purpose, be a purposeful giver versus be a giver or a taker. Because most people around us are takers without knowing that they're takers. Some people maliciously are takers. There's some of those as well, and that those are givers, which doesn't mean that it's going to make you more successful or it's a good thing necessarily. You have to do it with purpose. So I have, it's a mix of intuition and of course the experience that I'll know what kind of people I want to be in relationship with. And that relationship will be either personal, will usually be personal and business as well, right? It's intertwined because it's not, I'm not talking about, kids and stuff like that or relatives. I'm talking about people like in our industry, etc. I think that some relationships or in the path where people that turn to be very poisonous and not as they perceive to be. And that's also a blessing because that kind of course correct who you are as an individual and also teaches you the lesson of like, okay, this is what I missed. Now I see it. So now I can be a smarter individual of what kind of people I allow in. Or you can say, in my experience, I knew exactly what I'm stepping into and I made the decision and I knew the risks and I was okay, or I'm okay to pay the price, right? So that's like in the, not so good experience. In the good experience, listen, Juan, you're incredible person, very smart, very successful, incredible networker. It's all about that. Just keep supporting people. Always ask people like, what do you, who do you want to become? Where do you want to go? And if you're an individual that can help them to get there in some capacity, even if it's for the moment, or you're going to be there for a long time, then it's a good match. You don't have to ask anything back. It's going to happen by itself because it's a compliment, because they're going to, going to get the best out of you, right? And by the way, that best out of it doesn't mean that you have to give. It means that you can just be a strong leader, right? Let's say you have an investor, like, hey, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Well, I want to be .NET, whatever. This is cash flow, and I want to be owning X amount of doors. Well, Juan is the best, agent, right, to help people with their needs. Make sense? So it doesn't mean just about give. You can capitalize on your potential by having such people around you, and you know that you can be great support to them. So it's a mutual relationship. It's always like two ways. It's got to be a win-win. And you asked, I'm not sure if I understood your second part of the.
So I, obviously, you have a lot on your plate. You're a leader, and what I mean by some non-negotiables is, I know that, I got the privilege to be at the event, and I'm not saying it's good or bad at your holiday event. And, for example, you don't drink, right? I don't know, is that by choice or that's like, it's a choice, but maybe that's a non-negotiable, right? For whatever reason.
Yeah. So if you're asking about my drinking habits, well, from time to time, I think that, so ask about non-negotiables. Wow. I don't know. I didn't make a list. I didn't think about that. It's a good question. I think that non-negotiable is bullies, people that are obnoxious, and there are too many of those around us all the time. Not really in my circle these days, but people who are like that, non-negotiable. They shouldn't be part of my lifestyle, right? And part of my legacy. So that's number one, for example. About other habits, it's what I'm looking at usually is just a matter of like, what's the return? And not just like monetary return. It's like I'll do something. Is it going to make me feel good? Is it going to make someone else feels good, right? you do something. Is this the right thing to do? Is it the not the right thing to do? Maybe it's just a matter of timing. So I rarely do something just by coincidence, if it makes sense, right? And I'm not talking about being spontaneous, just being purposeful about what we do. It's also, go back to what I mentioned at the very beginning. We're gonna do this coming year, this health, wealth, business, and real estate. So those are all interconnected, right? You have to find the harmony, not really the balance, but the harmony between all those like 4 fields or gardens. And by the way, whatever makes you feel great and whatever is good for you. But I think that part of health is nutrition. So you have to be moderate. Again, not about, it's just the harmony. Like if you really enjoy wine, right? I don't really enjoy wine, but let's say you really enjoy wine. Are you going to drink it every day? Or are you going to save that, for a good meal or a celebration or what have you, right? And when you do, are you going to finish the whole bottle by yourself or just have a glass of wine? That's what they say. It's not like a bottle of wine, it's a glass of wine. Or 2 glasses, it's okay too. But, so it's just kind of find the harmony and the balance between how you want to live your lifestyle. And again, remember that you are, by choice, all of you guys, all of us are servicing something greater than us, right? So if that's the case, are you qualified on a daily basis to keep leading whatever it is that you're leading, starting with yourself, right? And how do you maintain that? I told you, every day is a struggle. Every day is you're going to have more struggle than going to have success, which is like weird to think about. Think about if you like celebrating all day, every day. It doesn't make any sense. It's something we're leading to that, those small victories in the path. So you have to maintain that harmony. Hope I answered the question.
Hey, Simon.
Meny, good morning. Thank you so much for sharing. So inspirational and true leader in the making. I want to go back and ask you this question, Meny. If you can go back in time, through your real estate career, what would you have done differently? Meaning, we all have obstacles, challenges, and frustrations, right? And it's the ups and downs, more so in real estate as a salesperson, but more so in leadership, we have even bigger challenges. So if we were to go back, Meny, what would that look like? What would you do differently?
I would, good question. I appreciate that, Simon Cazares. I wouldn't do anything differently because I don't have the ability to do anything different than what already been done. Without being too philosophical, right? What I would do more of, which it's also like, future, right? It can be present and future, is number one, making sure to be, number one, courageous, right? Brave, courageous, whatever word is suitable for you, to allow or not allowing people in your life, right? Because again, sometimes this person, that's gonna be, this is not gonna work. It just doesn't make any sense. But like, let's give it a shot or whatever it is, right? Business partnership or agents on your teams or what have you, right? And of course in relationships. Or it's like, wow, this is, I have to combine DNAs with this individual. Like it's like once in a lifetime, right? This is it. So I would do more of that, and I would advise all of you to be a bit more courageous about once if it's right or if it's wrong, it. So be brave enough to make the decision as you already made it 2 years ago. So that's number one. Number two is just keep doing more, keep investing more in other people. Keep investing more in other people. So keep asking the questions, and you guys, the leadership in our group over here right now, right? You're doing a great job asking our agents hey, what is your goal? What do you want to do? What are your struggles? What is your superpowers? And then bring everything together to a plan that the individual will understand, I'm phenomenal, I'm great. I already have that experience. I have that wisdom, I have that knowledge, I have that self-confidence. Let's bring that to this table, right? Or if it's someone experienced, same thing, but different market. Okay, I've been there. Let's just keep doing what I'm doing correctly. So investing in the right people, it's crucial. So I would just, I would and will keep doing more of that.
Awesome. Okay. And then let's see. Christine asked, did you know from the start what your niche was for success or to success?
It's a very broad question. I think that I was always somewhat disciplined, which means that comfortable to be uncomfortable. And I think that's key to success, one of the key elements, just to be disciplined and then, use that self-discipline to carry you through hard times, because again, it's the task that you have to keep doing over and over and over again, get you through whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had that. And the second thing is, just again, being uncomfortable to make tough decisions, be uncomfortable, be comfortable to be uncomfortable, be comfortable to make tough decisions, be comfortable to change, be comfortable to run into embarrassing moments where you don't know what to say, what to do, how to act, how to behave, but you're still okay. You not get sweaty or shaking. And oh my God, I have the craziest stories ever. You wouldn't even believe me, right? And the last thing is also self-confidence, right? Confidence and self-confidence. It's so important. Some people, that's back to the how been nourished since young age. They sell or present self-confidence maybe as arrogance or cockiness or what have you, which I think it's such a disservice to so many people. So if you're not an arrogant person, right, and none of you here is that kind of individual, so it's confidence on who I am, who I want to be, what I want to do, how I want to do it, how much I want to do of that, and how many other people I want to affect and help and assist by doing that. Meaning, bottom line is fulfill your potential, fulfill your destiny. So making long story short is understand who you want to become and then just live by it, right? So that's pretty much, and of course there's all different things in the way because it doesn't happen overnight, but that's pretty much what it is. It's the core principles to fulfill your destiny, right? Your path.
Yes, thank you. Self-mastery.
Did I pass?
I think the jury's still out on that. No, this was awesome. Thank you so much. We know that your time is very valuable. We understand that you're a very, very busy individual as well. And we're very grateful that you can jump on and give us your, almost 1 hour of your time. We do appreciate that. So this is awesome.
It's our time, Mary, and I appreciate you and for interviewing me and for allowing me to share. And I want to wish everybody, if I want to see you in person, happy and productive 2023. It's going to be a great year. Might be a little bit, boring few months ahead, like we had the last 6 months, but keep focus on what is it that you want to achieve, and 10x it every day. Work as the hardest you can do every single day from now until the end of first quarter, like it's the last quarter of your life ever. And then come back to me and tell me how it felt, and tell me how amazing it is for you in the second quarter of 2023 and moving forward. So just live your life by what kind of person you want to become, and don't let anything stop you from being that individual. So happy New Year.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, happy New Year. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Please be responsible as well. And we will see you all next week. Take care.